Okay, so I haven't found one video on YouTube where someone has a 2006 Toyota Corolla with the trim CE, C as in cat, E as in elephant. This is my engine. It's a 1ZZ FE 6K. So I have an electric throttle body. Electric, meaning it ain't got that string, I guess the throttle string attached to it. Just going over some stuff, what people should do is look at their car and, look at the wirings, look at the rubber hoses, all that cute stuff. But I've been trying to figure out where some stuff is located. Now, my starter is right here. The starter is here. 6 bolts. You got a bolt here. There's a bolt there. I think that's a nut or a bolt. There's another bolt. There's another bolt that holds the intake down. I actually replaced the gasket for this. The screws, I guess originally no one's ever replaced it, or somebody was like Hercules and they were a pain in the ass to remove. Taking it off is easy. Take off the cover. I think I'll do that when I get back. But I did replace the gasket for this here. I also replaced the PVC or PCV part that connects right here. I gotta get a thing to remove this. I gotta find the other one. I don't know what happened. I dropped it. I'm always dropping shit, Replace that for this. New mass airflow sensor. Replace that. Air filter. I checked that. I just checked it maybe 2 days ago. But I'm trying to see if I got it lined up properly. It looks like I do. Okay. Looks like I do. I checked the terminals on here, on the battery. I guess they look okay. And of course, check the fuses. So a good mechanic friend here, he showed me on a multimeter, you want to put it on continuity. And you get your 2 probes, you get the red and the black, and you touch the metal parts on your fuses. If it goes long duration of sound, that means that fuse is good. It's not best to check your fuses with a test light. My dad did it because, black folk. But I guess, if you've been doing it for a while, you do it the correct way. But anyways, so that's what that looks like. That's my fuses and stuff. And the cool thing, it came with a fuse puller right there. But I have not found not one YouTube on a video on YouTube on a 2006. A lot of people keep doing the whole 2000 to 2008 or 2003 to 2008. But I realized that the throttle bodies are different in these videos. So, don't you hate that shit? You put something on and then you take it off, and then when you try to put it on, the bitch don't want to get on, but it gets right back on, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, does this have an idle air control valve, and is it not attached to the throttle body? I had made a video, but I didn't like it. And I know what the idle air control valve looks like, but I'm thinking because this is an electric throttle body that I think it's integrated in it. You can barely see right there. It has a more flat appearance. Probably can't see. If I move this bitch out the way, maybe you could see. But that's the whole gist of that. The serpentine belt would be a bitch to get to because, and I don't mean to curse, but we adults, right? I hope. Because getting this out the way. But I've seen some videos already where some dudes, some gals, this bracket here that looks like it's a 10 or 12 millimeter. Move that out the way so you can get to the belt. You take off the engine cover here, move that out the way, and you can get to the belt. It's a tight fit, but it can be done. And I say do it during the day. You do it at night. Do it whenever you want to do it. I don't give a damn. But that's where the belt is. That's pretty obvious where that is. One of these is the tensioner. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see from here. where the tensioner is, or the AC, but I'm believing it's right there. And of course, I said the starter is like literally right there. When you take this off, you see all of Africa in its beautiful gloriness. Okay. But anyways, that's pretty much that. I mean, it looks a little grungy because, or slimy looking or shiny, because I was checking the oil and I forgot to put the oil cap back on. And so when I opened the hood, it was oil all over the place. And I was like, son of a bitch. But I was lucky though, it didn't catch fire though. And that's pretty much that. That's the brake booster. Don't need to do nothing with that. The codes I'm getting is a P113 and a P171 and one something about the master flow. I had wrote it on a spiral. Forgot to bring the bitch with me, man. Fuck. So air filter, I will replace that. Now there's some parts that I'm looking at, like down there. What the hell is that? You know, I don't know what this is. Like I said, some people, they upload stuff on YouTube and they never go in, and then you got adult men and women who get on there and they talk crap, and it's like, come on, man. There's more to life than messing with people. You know, somebody asks a question, they seeking for advice or help or, you know, suggestion. So that's what I'm doing. I know this is something that goes to the radiator fan. This is real dirty. Any suggestions on how to kind of clean some of this up without getting into anything? I know I'd have to cover this with a trash bag. I'd probably take the cover off and scrub that independently. As far as the battery, you know, do I leave it connected, clean it? What's up? As far as the air intake, can I spray stuff all over it? You know, what about the master flow sensor? Do I cover that up? You know, that can be covered. I mean, that doesn't really need to be clean. What about all this back here? You know what I'm saying? And all that back there. So, you know, just look at the grounds. There's a couple of grounds. I guess they're grounds, right? There's a ground point right there. There's a ground. There's one you can't, it's kind of hard to see. Well, actually, if I get on this side. There's a ground. I was just looking at it. It's literally right there. I don't know if you can see, but I see it. You can see the VIN to this car right there. There's a couple of grounds. There's another ground somewhere. I was just looking at a ground. There's a couple of them. Actually, I remember I cleaned them when I had took all this shit apart. I took all this off. I forgot how I took this off. I forgot, you know. But for me, when I have to disconnect the connector to the master flow, it cuts off while the car's running, which that means that the master flow sensor is working, which is good. And it's good to test that periodically, you know. You know, that's just me. But then that's me and a million other people who go and look inside their cars and stuff. I do that. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is the EVAP. And I've been trying to figure out how I can get this screw loose so I can, but I don't think, you know, I just don't want to mess up the hose and stuff and snap anything. And whoever had this took good care of it, because this bitch is hard to get off. These connectors are hard to get off. I have to use a flathead. I push down on this tab here, but I got to use a flathead to kind of wiggle it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, that's pretty much it. I have not found not one. Here's another ground. That's a ground right there. I knew I saw somewhere a ground right there. But I have not found not one video, one video on YouTube that just says 2006 Toyota Corolla CE. And that's my thought about it. You can see back here, I forgot the name. I know that's the intake, but I think that's the something manifold, something. And there's my upstream oxygen sensor. Upstream, I'm assuming it's near the engine, and downstream is near the catalytic converter. That one, not that one, but the one next to the cat, that bitch is hard to get off. If I had a blowtorch, which I'm thinking about getting, you know, what they use in culinary, and they making flan and shit, you gotta crisp the top, you know. I was thinking about using that. to kind of heat it up and use some PB Blaster, soak it, over course of maybe 2 or 3 days, and then removing it. But not that one, not that O2 sensor. I might be able to get it just by crawling on top and replacing that one, because the connection or connector is right here to that O2 sensor. So I believe that's upstream because it's near the engine, and downstream is near the catalytic converter. To get to that one, you got to go on the passenger side, pull the carpet back, and there's a little hole. You could just push it out, I guess. I think the O2 sensor is connected to a thing. I forgot. It's literally there. Push it through the hole, it falls out, but it's still going to be connected to the cat. And that bitch is like on there like Superman. Hell. Other than that, y'all, that's it. You're probably wondering how the problems occurred. Well, when I first got the car, there was corrosion on the terminal. A lot of people, if you're a black female, they already think that you're incompetent, you're slow, you're feeble-minded, you're gullible and all that stuff. You're at a dealership, everyone's being nice and, all that shit, posh and all that. But you're like, let me run some codes on this. But, they probably cleared that bitch out, and their technicians, like, they'll never find out, So you drive the bitch for a while, it's good. And I went to an actual dealership. I went to Ancira, okay? If you're here in Texas, right? You should know about that. But I cleaned the terminal here. This one was corroded. It was just like caked up shit. And actually, I had put some of that dielectric grease. So I disconnected the negative and the positive and stuff and cleaned it. I had some battery acid cleaner. Let it sit, scrub a dub, cleaned it. Put it back on. Car started acting a fool. And I thought it's probably the PCM. What is that? The powertrain control module, or the ECU or ECM. And it's trying to relearn something. And so then I started getting all these weird codes popping up, just random shit. But the one that stuck was the P171, the vacuum leak. So I'm going to do a test where I get a little water. There's a lot of things you can do. You can get carburetor, but I don't think I'm going to do that because, like I said, oil. I think I'm going to get a spray. I'm going to go ahead and scrub a dub and scrub this bitch down because, it's just oil everywhere. And keeping it clean actually allows you to see things that you weren't able to see. Not for appearances and stuff or whatever the fuck. But it just makes it easier to find things that you like, what is that, right? And then the oil right here caked up on the connector to the oxygen sensor too. And so I was like, damn, all because I cleaned the battery terminal. So then I ended up getting a new battery. So this is actually a new battery. And then I had cleaned the mass airflow sensor. And then the code, it was a code that just didn't want to go away. And I was like, that's weird. Let's say if you drive your car for a bit, anything related to the mass airflow sensor will go away, because it got to relearn. You just disconnected the connection. You have the car running and all that stuff, right? Give me a second. So, but other than that, that's it. How I learned some of this, because my dad, he was Army and Air Force. He's from St. Louis, so he ain't from here. He ain't like all these other people, right? That's cool. It's good to have one parent that's from here and one parent that ain't from here, where you born and raised. Like, because I think that it develops you and you just learn more character and stuff, and you understand what they've been through and how they grew up in that state or that city or that area. Anyways, so whenever my dad be out messing with his truck and stuff, I'd be like, yo, how you do that? What's this? Why are you doing that? And all that cute stuff. But anyways, I did write notes. I remember it may be my spark plugs. I might need to change the sparks. The ignition coils usually last a little bit longer than the spark. Just look at the spark plug. So I'm going to do all that shit when I get back. But I'm going to have to wait till the engine cools down. It may be the air filter. It may be dirty. But it's being a bitch today. It won't let me get in it. So, and then I dropped the screw. I was trying to take this part. I don't know where it went. I'm just gonna go forward, backward, forward till it falls out or something. And that's it. But I definitely want to clean this. I'm trying to add everything in the video so that someone will be like, okay, well, you know where that's at. Da-da-da-da-da, that's the da. But so if the idle air control valve, if the car does have one, is it integrated with the throttle body? This is electric throttle body. I don't have that string. You know, some people, when they diagnose in their car, while the truck is running, they can rev it. You know, it's a little thing. He goes vroom, vroom, like that. The shit. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's what the engine looks like. Taking it apart is no problem, but it's unnecessary to do all that, you know, when it ain't even that serious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking. I'm trying to put so much in the video so you see what I see and where things are located. And for a minute I thought there was a crack in this. I actually saw this dude on YouTube. He was showing how he replaced it on a Toyota. And it's a bitch because you gotta have one person underneath the vehicle. You gotta have the bitch jacked up while one person's underneath it and one person on top doing all this other stuff. It's crazy just to repair that thing. There's a gasket somewhere that you replace, and I guess somewhere around this it gets cracked. Matter of fact, and what the hell is that? And anybody knows what that is? So if you watching the video, just put the timestamp of where I asked the questions and stuff. What is that? Because I've seen my dad, he would have something like that laying around. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's some sort of like an organization thing, like an organizer or something. Because it don't seem like no liquids would go inside of it. It seems like it's something that just organizes something. It looks like it's going to the brake booster. All right, peace.